Unfortunately, and I am deciding to do this to talk about some internet drama. And I don't know if you guys have heard that Crowder made a video, dropped the D word recently about his marriage. And that is, he got divorced. And now I noticed out on Twitter some political pundits like the likes of Nick Fuentes is giving his interesting opinion on marriage, the state of marriage in the United States, the culture, how it's not really, it's very anti-marriage and shit like that. Now, I have a few things I'd like to say on this very serious topic about marriage. Talking from somebody who's from divorced parents and somebody who's also that doesn't believe in marriage. And I understand where people's frustrations are. I really do. This whole thing is more of a government problem, and I wish we could start to divorce our personal lives from the government. You guys remember some of the arguments that the conservative right back in the day were saying that if you legalize gay marriage, you're changing the definition of marriage, because it's between a man and a woman. Define those terms for me now. It's 2023. Get with the current year, by the way. And the other one would be, they would say that it's none of the government's business to know who it is that I'm sleeping with. Then why were they putting a lot of emphasis on the government anyways? See, that's the thing I don't understand with this whole thing. It really doesn't make sense. When you're listening to a lot of disgruntled, frustrated guys, when they talk about marriage, they're talking about the legal system and the whole no-fault divorce thing. I still think that divorce is necessary. I would not get rid of divorce. This whole blanket thing of no fault, even car accidents is fucking bullshit, because we have that up here in Quebec, amongst other problems with corruption and a money problem and a thievery problem along with that. No fault divorce is also fucking bullshit, but I would not get rid of divorce. The problem with this whole thing is the government. The government is a problem. To me, it doesn't make sense that you involve a government in your personal life. It is not of their business to know who it is you're sleeping with, what gender you're sleeping with, how many you're sleeping. It shouldn't be their business. It's not normal to me that you involve these guys. A marriage license, a certificate, permit, piece of paper, c'est toute la calice de bullshit. I think the Americans will understand what I said, even though I spoke in French. It's bullshit. Can we just stop pretending like this is not, it's a normal thing? That these asswipes who should be staying, actually individuals, this is more of an individual problem, that a lot of you should be telling the fucking government to go fuck themselves, stay in your goddamn lane, stay out of my business, stay out of my fucking life, stay out of my body, stay out of my private property, my guns, my home, my labor, my capital. Let's start to divorce you guys out of my fucking life. It's not normal to me that they come in and they know this information, and it's a great fucking industry. How much is the divorce industry worth? In the billions? Oh yeah. And this is going to set a bad precedence of relationships between individuals if they want to spend their lives with one another. Now here's the thing. I am not going to impose my opinion on you guys. If you want to get married. Do what you got to do. I'm pretty sure there are other ways where people get married and the government is not involved. The thing is, we don't hear much about it. But here's the other argument that it's not really often talked about. And I have to agree with the guys in the manosphere when they say this. That they will say, don't live with a woman. Don't cohabitate. You're going to have to stay in your own places. Why is that? At least where I live in Quebec, it's the norm that most people here cohabitate. Majority seems to be the majority. And when you're cohabitating and you're living, the two individuals have been consecutively living together for the last 2 years in the same residence are considered married. And you know what that means for the government? That's the problem. As I mentioned earlier, we have a thievery problem, especially in this province. We have that fucking problem. Even if you're not married, you're still going to get taxed out of your ass. And it becomes very annoying. And it's beyond annoying at this point. You think, hey, I don't have to get married, blah, 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 XYZ reason. But then these assholes get involved. And it's like, okay, how are we going to get rid of you? There has to be a fucking way to get rid of these assholes and divorce them out of our life. That's number one. But another thing I'd like to mention concerning marriage. Of course, this is the internet. There's a lot of mis and disinformation and what is trendy and what is true. That's why I'm very weary when it comes to picking sides of this culture war. When it comes to the left. The rah boss babe versus the right as a reactionary stance. The homestead, trad wife, all that shit. The stay-at-home mom and whatever. Now, I'm against both for myself personally. I don't believe in only working. And that's it. Seeking fulfillment in only in that regard. No, I don't believe in that. There's more to life than just working. Work is a part of your life. It's not the whole. I've always felt like that. And I was given some, even to this very day, I'm still given some bad fucking advice that I got when I was 15 concerning work from individuals that I will give them credit for. They're very industrious. Yeah, I can be industrious too, but there's a time and a place to be industrious. There's also a time for me to live. I know, some people just want to living on the fucking couch and watching Fox News and being married to them after all this time, when now they have to issue their own fucking divorce. Let's see how that's going to work. And the other side is just being at home, being a homemaker. It's like you get some benefits from that, but to me, that's not satisfying enough. I'm not satisfied with that. And so, on this side, you're also going to see the whole marriage thing. We're talking about fulfillment. And I hear people say, on the right, we got to save the West. We got to get married. The family is that tight nucleus that is going to help the next generation. And from that micro, expand it into the macro. I don't really disagree with that, but what people don't talk about, and the reality is that divorce and relationships and people change. Things do end. And sometimes divorce is necessary. I'm one of those exceptions. I understand that the exceptions don't negate the rule, but sometimes rules have to be challenged and broken in order to make way for a better paradigm, or at the very least, a start of a new paradigm. Because it is up to the individual they see fit for themselves. Everybody understands and recognizes that it's not the 1950s. What I've seen with my parents, one has been in a relationship. I assume he's still in a relationship, and we're not on talking terms, by the way. The old lady, well, she's married to Fox News. But she's been single for the last 16 years. Of her choice, I assume. The thing is, the things that you get when you're married, you also get when you're not married. So why go through the whole thing of spending so much money on this one day, the whole white dress thing and setting things up. It's too much for me. It's too much. But there are individuals that want to get married and it's pretty secular. They don't have the government involved and somebody else who's that they probably know or is ordained is finalizing that. Even at that point, I'm just like, I don't really know. I'm perfectly content with being in a relationship. My love and my commitment is not more or less official because I didn't slap my name on a marriage license, and it's not any less committed because in the eyes of the family, even though they're more traditional, that kind, it's like, this is my relationship between me and the BF. And what we have together is nobody's business but our own. And that also includes the government. But unfortunately, even if you're not married, you're still going to get fucked over because of this. And it becomes very annoying after a while. So I've stated on this channel, I've stated it maybe a couple of times and possibly a third time that I don't believe in marriage, but I'm not going to impose my shit on you guys because I know what works and I'm in the process of figuring out what works best for me, and everybody else is to each their own at the end of the night. You know, this shit, it's a piss off more so because government gets in your life. It shouldn't be a shock at this point. But in terms of a divorce, you see with Crowder in the video, dude bro is hurt. And I understand. Let him go through the process let him go through that process. It's going to take time to heal. He may not. He may. Who knows? But at this point, I'm pretty much just tired of having these conversations. And we have to start having and being more emboldened and letting these idiots know you're not getting in my relationship. Well, you got in people's bodies, but you ain't getting in my fucking relationship. Fuck off, stay in your lane, and that's how it should be. Peace out.